Hey, how's it going, everyone? Eddie T, Jacob Spades. What's going on?
Hey, not much. Do we have the time reserved for now, or do we have to give it up to an NBA team? Just making sure.
Actually, we have to finish this pretty quickly because the Cavaliers have already made an agreement to play their game against Orlando Magic tonight. But speaking of time agreements, we're gonna talk some wrestling today, and we want to start by speaking of this whole ridiculous NBA situation. If you haven't been following the site, just to catch you on really quick, here's what's going on. WWE signed a contract all the way back in August to use the Pepsi Center in Denver this upcoming Monday night for Raw. The Denver Nuggets ownership at the time agreed, and basically, by agreeing, pretty much stated, hey, we don't think our team is going to make the playoffs, you can have the building. We don't think our team is going to last all the way to the Western Conference Finals, you may have the building. Of course, they made the finals. They're playing the Lakers this Monday night. It's game 4 of that series. And now we have a problem. We have a problem that resulted in, quite a few shots back and forth between the Denver Nuggets and Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon going on ESPN, being interviewed by Jonathan Coachman, an interview we can see on our side as well. Him waving an old Lakers jersey as a gift for the Nuggets owner, who also owns the arena. So basically, we have a big problem. WWE is considering two different possibilities, and they'll most likely tape Raw in Colorado Springs on Monday, the same arena where they're going to hold SmackDown tapings on Tuesday. So, Jacob, let me get your thoughts on this. What do you think of the whole thing?
I think it's fantastic publicity for the WWE. First of all, I know McMahon is loving it.
Oh yeah,
Um, how much else does it get covered on ESPN? I've seen it covered more on ESPN the past few days than I think I've seen it in the past couple of years. So it's fun publicity for him. But I think that Denver Nuggets are 100% in the wrong, especially their ownership with Mr. Kroenke, because like you said, you're the owner of a basketball team, regardless of if you haven't made it to the Western Conference Finals since 1995, you have a duty to make sure your team has a place to play, and
right.
especially with the great team that he's assembled, you would think he would be able to reserve those dates just in case. And I think all basketball teams should reserve postseason dates just in case, even the Clippers. But
Yes,
so I think the WWE is 100% right. They have the contract; it's signed. To me, it's case closed. WWE gets the arena.
and it's a pretty unprofessional move on the part of the Nuggets, but I've enjoyed the back and forth and all the shots Vince has taken at them during Raw and ECW commentary. He said his commentators go at them. A great line yesterday on ECW. We're taping this on a Wednesday, and yesterday ECW aired late at night. A great line was how someone wasn't as athletic. Someone had an athletic move, and of course Josh Matthews goes, I haven't seen Carmelo Anthony do that. So we're getting some nice dips, but I think Vince got some great publicity, and David Stern, the NBA commissioner, he was interviewed by Lisa Salters on ABC, actually ESPN, before the Lakers Nuggets game yesterday, and he had a comment on that too, and he that's exactly what he said. He said that McMahon got some great publicity out of the whole thing, and that the two of them are not getting in a cage to solve their differences, and this isn't an NBA problem. This is a Denver Nuggets problem.
And see,
So
here's the thing too. I was reading up a little bit more on this, and apparently something similar happened to the Pittsburgh Penguins because they play out in the Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh with the
right,
National Hockey League,
right.
and apparently they were actually kicked out of their own building because their ownership had contracted Yanni to play at a concert. I mean, if you get preempted by Yanni, why is this all of a sudden a big deal with WWE?
Well, I guess that's the NHL. I mean, it's I think some of these teams just they don't think things through, and they don't realize that you can't just give up your arena for a random event knowing that there is a chance you need it, and then you must use it. And now we have this big problem and this big issue, and you come off so unprofessional. And this contract was signed all the way in August. I mean, come on, where's the logic here?
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to get on Vince's bad side because if you kick out the WWE, which seems like that's what's going to happen, you run the chance of him boycotting your arena and your area,
Oh
and that
yeah.
could be very very detrimental to Denver right now, especially the tough economy they're having.
Yeah, which is funny because Vince is pretty mad at them if you can't tell. He's very mad, and There's talks of lawsuits going around, which he probably has the right to, but it's all for publicity. But he's pretty pissed. I can assure you of that. He's more mad than Blake Griffin after the draft lottery yesterday. He's pretty mad.
And what
But
about these fans? These fans have paid, how much money, and they said they've already sold 10,000 tickets, which, that's more than they had back at Vengeance in 2003 at the Pepsi Center. They only had, I think, 9,500. But these 10,000 fans, plus whoever else is buying tickets now, what are they going to do? Because if they have to go to Colorado Springs, that's 70 miles away. So not only are you talking at least an hour and 15-minute, car ride, but also additional money for gas and additional money for food probably. This is going to end up costing these people a lot more. And are the Denver Nuggets going to do anything to offset those costs? Or are they going to reimburse the WWE somehow for this to make up for it? I don't know.
no, I doubt that.
You can sleep at night right now.
I doubt that, and I think the best part about it is I don't even think the building in Colorado Springs hold as much as the Pepsi Center would hold. So I'm not sure how, because I knew there were problems yesterday with ticket exchanges, and Ticketmaster was refusing to do refunds, and I mean it was a whole mess. So I don't blame Vince for being mad here, but yeah, it's something that NBA teams, NHL teams, like you brought up, they just need to think through. Just think every time you book an event in your area, in your arena, in your stadium, whatever field you're playing on, just make sure that you look at all the dates and don't be so unprofessional. But hey, the contract was booked when the Nuggets didn't have Chauncey Billups. They had Allen Iverson. It was the same team from the year before that made the first round and has been leaving the first round for the last 5 years. But that's not an argument at all. You can't just completely mistrust your team and not have any faith in them. And that's just showing that you don't even trust your team. So maybe that owner does deserve the Kobe Bryant jersey that Vince McMahon was waving on camera yesterday with ESPN, which was a great interview, by the way. Did you notice how he treated Coachman? Like, he doesn't know who he is.
Exactly. Coach was doing his normal great job of sucking up to his former boss now even, but
Right.
McMahon was there. He looked like he was just there for business, and he didn't care about old relationships.
Oh, that was beautiful. But
Definitely
speaking.
riveting television.
Oh yes, everything McMahon does is riveting television. I can assure you of that.
Did you actually see the clip he posted? I think it was about a month ago when John Cena was at the headquarters of ESPN in Bristol and he ran into Coach.
That's one of the most popular clips on ESPN.com. It's amazing how popular Cena is.
Yeah, even over there. So I thought that was a lot of fun too. Coach at ESPN, there's just something about it. I love it.
And you know what's funny? He's a great sports commentator. If you actually catch him on ESPN, you'll see. And I've watched him call basketball games. He will be the play-by-play guy, and he's so good. And it's like, why are you so bad at wrestling, and why are you so good at this? But he's pretty good. I'm happy that he's at ESPN. And by the way, the whole treatment Vince was giving him is just that thing that WWE has. Okay, you left us, and you're doing well. That's not good. That doesn't sit well by us. What happened here?
Yeah.
And it's just typical WWE, treatment. But anyways, let's speak of more taking care of business. Now that we're speaking about that, Ric Flair made his return at Judgment Day. It's been a big topic of conversation ever since because the Nate is thinking of coming back. He's been itching to come back, and he's been texting higher ups every day saying, "I want to come back. I want to wrestle." He even showed up at the pay-per-view, and he's not even under a contract yet, as far as I know, but he really wants to wrestle. He wants back. They put him back in a program which I feel would be temporary. It's only done to slow down Triple H's return even more. And he's now teaming up with Batista and feuding with I was gonna say Evolution, but they're called the Legacy for now. But what do you make of Flair's return, and what do you think? Should he return to the ring? Should he wrestle again after that great retirement they gave him last year?
I want to see him wrestle, but I don't think he should. I mean, that's kind of, I guess, the kid in me wanting to see him wrestle one more time, just like Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he shouldn't wrestle again. And I think it's one of those things where Ric Flair actually has the upper hand on the WWE because he knows that he can go to Ring of Honor like he's done, or he can run over to TNA and take away, a good bit of the WWE audience once they understand, where Flair is now. And so I think the WWE kind of has to play this game where they're juggling, okay, we don't want to put him back in the ring, but yet we don't want him going somewhere else. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. And Flair's got the upper hand, just like I said. And so he's going to use his weight and throw his weight around to make sure he gets what he wants.